Next question is from Holly. Hi, Rob. I hear a lot of people talk about intermittent. It's IF in caps, and we just had fasting, so I was thinking it was intermittent fasting, but she's just saying if in all caps. I hear a lot of people talk about if.
It is intermittent
fasting.
fasting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's worded oddly.
I'm struggling here, people. Okay.
There's a fly, Tony.
What may be stressful for women's hormones?
Intermittent fasting may be stressful for women's hormones.
Potentially causing mood deregulation and or hair loss.
So we need to link to the RV guy, Tony.
Oh,
There's
Tony,
flies in here, Tony.
There are lots of flies in
There's
here,
lots of flies in here, Tony.
These damn flies. Okay. All right. I hear a lot of people talk about intermittent fasting may be stressful for a woman's hormones, potentially causing mood deregulation and or hair loss. I occasionally eat more carbs to address this, although I'm not sure if I have to if I'm feeling fine. Is there any benefit to scheduled regular increase in carbs for women, and how much are we talking about? What are the circumstances of intermittent fasting being contraindicated?
Okay, so I think we covered a lot of that in the previous question. I think there are laudable characteristics about intermittent fasting, but again, if we're not overeating, if we're eating a largely whole, unprocessed, nutrient-dense diet with the carbohydrate load matched to our individualized personal nutrition, like you can find in the 7-day carb test and Wired to Eat and stuff like that, these things like intermittent fasting or potentially dropping in some ketosis and stuff like that, there might be some benefit, but I really think that we're at the last 5% or the last 3% or something like that. And there is a reality that for women, now this is interesting to me. If you think about the biology of women and the kind of evolutionary biology, women definitely have a more tightly tuned sense of nutrient sensing in their systems. And if they're underfed or overstressed, their likelihood to be fertile is low. Like fertility just gets jettisoned rather quickly, and it's very noticeable in women. And this makes good sense from kind of an evolutionary biology perspective. If you're not in a situation where your body is ready to make a baby, then it kind of pulls it offline and will wait until you are ready. But what's interesting to me about both the intermittent fasting and ketosis, low carb diets, is that when I've looked around at people, say who are successful in glycolytic athletic endeavors like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, MMA, CrossFit, and are also doing a ketogenic diet, the main people that I find are women. So the people who really are dude, this is the bee's knees, it works better than anything else I've ever done, they're women. But then at the same time, I've seen more women broken by doing these types of things than anything else. And I have no idea what's going on there. But observationally, I've seen both ends of the spectrum. And it's honestly a head scratcher for me. In theory, women should be a little bit better at and are physiologically better at mobilizing fat as a primary fuel source. Now, this has never quite manifested in women becoming ultimately better endurance athletes than what we see males performing and whatnot. But in theory, there's kind of a metabolic advantage there with regards to fat mobilization, and which, again, is one of these benefits of intermittent fasting. It's pushing the metabolic machinery away from kind of a glucose-centric metabolism and more of a fat-centric metabolism. So again, I would just ask the question of, where are you? What are the goals? What are you hoping to achieve with some intermittent fasting? And again, if we have the background of a whole unprocessed, foods-based diet and good sleep and getting some sun on your skin and good community and your gut seem to be pretty healthy, maybe 1 day a week of intermittent fasting is good. It doesn't have to be 6 or 7 days a week. And again, I just don't know that we have anything to hang our hats on that you're going to get something shockingly better from really aggressive intermittent fasting versus just simply avoiding the process of overeating that is easy to do in a modern, processed food environment.
Mm-hmm.